Ladies and gentlemen, to those among you who are easily frightened, we suggest you turn away now. To those of you who think they can take it, we say, welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome to the madhouse. I am Jimmy, your humble zombie servant, and over there is Joey.
Hello, how are you?
Alright, I think we're going to amble, stumble, and mumble our way through this undead episode.
Yeah, we are going to slowly make our way through this and probably run over time.
It's number 10 though, isn't it?
It is, and it's a special film today.
Yeah.
George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Absolutely. This is one of the most successful independent movies ever made. It was made for $114,000 and it's grossed approximately $30 million.
That's not bad at all.
It's 200. Yeah, it's 263 times the budget it's made.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So any film,
it.
if you make any film and come up with that kind of a return on your money,
yeah.
But for a zombie film, 1968, that they had to, I mean, they were receiving investors while they were making it.
Okay.
They weren't set up well for making this film when it started. I think that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. One of the working titles of the film was actually Night of Anubis.
Yeah.
But they didn't think that was going to go down well. They didn't think anyone would get the reference. Egyptian god and all that sort of stuff.
Egyptian god of mummification.
Yes,
and
embalming.
Other shit.
Mummification,
There was another working title that I saw, Night of the Flesh Eaters.
Yeah.
But I think they found another film that had flesh eaters in the title. So they didn't go with it. Makes sense.
Yeah. It's one of the first films to graphically depict violent murders on screen.
Yeah, I want to call that out, though. When was Psycho?
Same year? 60s?
I've got it written down for later on.
Oh, okay. Also, one of the first films to star Afro-American lead character. African-American. I said Afro there. I apologise.
I'm sure it's fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, and he was great. He was cast because he read it brilliantly. Nothing to do with trying to make a statement. They did make statements with the film.
Yeah.
But apparently unintentionally, they just, they weren't racist while making the film, so they didn't cast him in a racist way.
Yeah.
So that's good. But 1968, I mean, the movement's going on there, isn't it, for equality?
Yes.
In the US.
Dwayne Jones didn't have a very good time of it, apparently.
In life, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, no, yeah. High tensions between black people and dickheads.
Yes. The word zombie is never used in this film, which is nice. They are described as either those things or ghouls, which I like.
Yeah.
I prefer to call a zombie a ghoul.
Do you?
Yeah, I like it. Or flesh eaters, as you previously mentioned.
Yeah.
Also, the first film to suggest that zombies are cannibals that eat human flesh. This is the very first film to do that.
Yeah. But not brains.
Not brains,
Return of
just
the Living
flesh.
Dead?
Yes,
Did
Return of the
that
Living
first?
Dead was brains. This is human flesh, and they sat down and thought, what could we make that's going to be shocking that these zombies could do? Because obviously zombies before were just in a state of like a trance.
Yeah, they hadn't particularly
being.
been zombies before.
No, they were kind of under like voodoo spells, that kind of thing.
People have been risen from the dead in films.
Yeah, and they sat down and they thought, what can we make that's going to be shocking that these zombies do that they haven't done before? And it was eating human flesh. So that, bang, kicked it right off.
Yeah, and it was never the same again after that in Zombieland.
No, literally, the formula has not changed
No,
up
it's
until now.
brilliant. Are you ready for a plot slot?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
then we did a bit of a Frights and Delights then. We'll delve into more Frights and Delights.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think this is going to do this in 10 minutes. What do you reckon?
We're not going to do it in 10 minutes, so I think you need to all buckle up because it's going to be a long one. Maybe crack open a can, roll a fatty, do whatever you want to do, take your trousers off, sit down, take your shirt off, get comfortable.
I would suggest doing all of those things. Just, that's what I'm doing now. Right now, I'm here, I'm naked, drinking and smoking weed.
It's only because it's hot.
Yes.
No other reasons.
No, I'm not really naked. No, they don't let me do that here anymore.
Curtains open as well.
They let me do
Neighbours
it out
can
there. There's a crowd waiting. Right, we do the plot slot.
Let's do it.
Okay, you start us off. I'll
Okay.
set the timer. Go.
Bickering siblings Johnny and Barbara are travelling by car to a rural cemetery where they visit their father's grave. Johnny teases his sister. Oh, fuck's sake. Johnny teases his sister's fear of the cemetery after dark, saying, "They're coming to get you, Barbara."
Yeah, just before they are approached by a pale-faced man walking through, and he's like, he's going to get you, and she says, shh, he'll hear you. And then he actually does suddenly attack Barbara. Johnny pulls the man off of Barbara and, and struggles with him, but is knocked unconscious and possibly dead after tripping and hitting his head violently on the edge of a gravestone.
The man then pursues Barbara back to her car, but Barbara can't start it because John's got the bloody keys. She takes the car out of gear. Luckily, they're on a hill and it rolls down, so she gets away, but then crashes it into a tree.
Yeah, did you know why she crashed it into a tree?
Yes, because the car was already dented before the scene.
It was someone's mum's car,
Yeah.
and they used it to start off with, and then the mum went and crashed it, and then they had to film the last of the scene, so they crashed her into a tree.
Yeah,
That's
you can
interesting.
clearly see it's already dented before.
Yeah, it
hits the
didn't
tree.
hit that tree,
No.
and then there's a really bad sound effect of...
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got lost again. I always go on tangents in this. She abandons the car and runs down a roadway to a nearby farmhouse. With the man still pursuing her, she discovers the house seemingly deserted and is joined by several others. They all seem to be in kind of a trance. Exploring the house further, Barbara makes a gruesome find at the top of the stairs, a human body that seems to have been partially devoured by something.
Oh. In a panic and attempting to flee the house, Barbara is intercepted by Ben, played by Dwayne Jones, who arrives in a pickup truck and attacks the mysterious figures with a tire iron. Good weapon.
Yeah. Barbara is further driven into hysteria. Once
Get
again.
that dildo out.
Yeah, definitely. When she sees Ben violently smashing the skulls of the strange men who keep trying to get into the house.
Ben urges her into action, and the two of them begin boarding up the doors and windows from inside with dismantled furniture and scraps of wood. They awkwardly trade their stories. Ben seems to be a drifter who was passing through the area when suddenly a wave of unexplained violence began unfolding.
So he tells Barbara about a scene of mayhem that he encountered at a diner, and that acting he does there is absolutely fantastic. And Barbara tells him about the incident with Johnny in the cemetery, and that little monologue is also fantastic.
Yeah.
When Barbara becomes hysterical and wants to go out after Johnny, her brother, which is pretty mental. There's dead people outside. Well, she doesn't know, but there's people
Yeah.
attacking him outside. She strikes Ben, and Ben hits her in the face. Barbara passes out in shock. That's pretty forward-thinking for 1968. That's a black man alone in a house with a white woman and smacked her around the face. I mean, she needed it.
She did need it, but that is one of my favourite scenes.
Okay.
It's just so rapid. She slaps him, and the first thing that goes through his head is slap her back.
How can you slap?
Right, Ben finds a rifle and a radio as Barbara lies incapacitated on a couch in the living room, listening to the radio report. Emergency broadcasters tell stories of widespread violence and mayhem being committed by people who seem to be in a trance.
Suddenly, Barbara's startled when the cellar door opens and two men emerge from the basement. Ben, is it two men?
Yeah, it's two men, yeah. It's Henry and the other chap.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. Okay.
Tom.
Yeah, Ben was attracted by her screams, and they confront the newcomers. An older middle-aged man introduces himself as Harry Cooper, and the younger man is named Tom. You're right. For some reason, I thought it was Harry and his wife that went up first then. Harry says that his wife Helen and his daughter Karen are in the basement as well. Karen's been hurt and cannot be moved. Tom has a girlfriend named Judy, also in the cellar.
Thanks, Judy. Judy will later become Tom's downfall. Immediately, the group begins bickering. Ben is furious with Tom and Harry for not coming out earlier to help him barricade the house. Harry is an irrational and domineering man who insists that they all barricade themselves in the cellar and wait for help. Ben refuses, saying that if their attackers even got into the cellar, it would be the end of all of them, as there is only one entrance. If they stay upstairs, they have a fighting chance to hold off their attackers outside.
Harry angrily says he's going back to his family in the basement and will barricade the door. Tom calls his girlfriend Judy upstairs. Harry bars the door while Tom tries to reason with him, saying they can defend the house if they all work together.
Harry gloats that they'll be safer down there, but when Helen learns about the group and that they have a radio that keeps them informed, she insists that they go upstairs into the house to help out. She's the one wearing the trousers.
She should be the one.
Yeah, she's
She's
the one.
the reasonable one.
Yeah. Oi, Harry, you dick. We're not
Yeah.
staying down here.
Radio reports explain that an epidemic of mass murder is sweeping across the eastern seaboard of the United States. Later, Ben discovers a television and the whole group watches the emergency broadcaster, who reveals that the murderers are recently deceased human beings who have returned to life and are now consuming their victims' flesh.
Experts, including scientists and military generals, are not sure of the cause of the reanimation, but one scientist is certain that it's the result of radiation emanating from a Venus space probe that exploded in Earth's atmosphere. The report instructs that a gunshot or heavy blow to the head will stop the ghouls, and that posse of armed men are patrolling the countryside to restore order.
The TV broadcast provides a constantly scrolling list of local towns that contain rescue stations to provide citizens with protection and necessities. Ben notices a nearby town called Willard, which Tom and Judy recognise since they're from the area. Ben devises a plan to escape using his truck, but it needs refueling.
Oh, God, what are they going to do now? Well, Harry throws Molotov cocktails out of a second-floor window very, very carelessly, I might add.
It's Harry, isn't it?
Yeah, Harry chucking the things out.
I'm saying, it's Harry. We can expect him to be careless and
That's
stupid.
true. Ben exits the house, armed with the rifle and a flaming torch. Tom and Judy offer assistance, but when they arrive at a fuel pump near the house, Tom carelessly splashes gasoline on the truck and torch, starting a grass fire that quickly spreads to cover the truck.
Judy's sleeve is caught on something inside the truck when it explodes with Tom and Judy inside. Ben runs back to the house to find that Harry locked him out. Twat.
Dick.
He kicks the door open and forces his way inside, and after Harry helps him board up the front door again, he punches Harry repeatedly for his coward in his gormy face. For his cowardice. Sorry, I meant. Couldn't wait to say gormy face again.
Yeah.
Furiously telling him he should throw Cooper out the front door and let the zombies eat him. But he doesn't say zombies, obviously.
No.
Ghouls. As Cooper watches in horror, some of the living dead begin eating Tom and Judy's charred remains.
A little later, another broadcast comes on the television showing a local news reporter interviewing a local sheriff about the search and rescue operations that are underway in the area. Another news report indicates that the levels of mysterious radiation in the area have been increasing, suggesting that the phenomenon is going to become even more widespread than it already is, but also that the situation is going to be under control soon.
That makes sense. The reporter asks if ordinary people can fight off the attacks, and the sheriff tells him shots to the head, blows to the head with blunt objects, and fire are all effective against the hordes. At that moment, the house goes dark when the area loses power.
Perhaps triggered by the darkness, the ghouls surrounding the house begin to attack, attempting to break through all of the boarded up doors and windows of the house. Ben manages to hold them back, but drops his rifle. Harry seizes the fallen rifle and turns it on Ben. Cooper orders his wife to go down to the cellar. Ben manages to wrest the rifle away from Harry and then shoots him. Harry stumbles into the cellar and dies, approaching Karen's seemingly lifeless body.
Helen also attempts to hold off the zombies, whose great numbers are beginning to overwhelm the barricades over the windows and doors. Barbara suddenly comes out of the catatonic state she's been in for most of the film,
About bloody time.
throws herself into the battle, and Helen escapes back into the cellar, where she discovers that her daughter has been transformed into one of the living dead and is consuming part of her husband's corpse, Harry's corpse. Karen stabs her mother repeatedly with a cement trowel, killing her before going upstairs.
Meanwhile, the undead finally break into the house and Barbara sees her brother Johnny among them. Whoa!
We're not far off though.
The resulting shock causes her to lower her defenses and she is carried away into the zombie horde. Barbara's fate is not shown, but is strongly assumed that she is eaten alive by the mob of flesh-eating ghouls.
Yeah, she dead.
She dead.
Then, the zombie Karen comes up from the basement and attacks Ben, but he throws her aside and retreats into the cellar, locking the door behind him, which ironically was Harry's plan all along. When Harry and Helen Cooper reanimate, he shoots them both. With nowhere to go, Ben crouches in the corner of the basement with his rifle ready to make his last stand, while the undead walk through the house, as well as pound on the boarded-up basement door. The ghouls cannot get into the basement.
In the morning, the undead mob has left the house and dispersed. A posse approaches the house, kills the remaining zombies lurking around. Hearing the commotion and the gunshots, Ben cautiously goes up from the cellar stairs into the living room and peers out the window. He thinks it's all over. He thinks he's
saved.
He thinks he's got it.
But is shot in the head by an overzealous posse member who mistakes him for a zombie. His body is carried from the house and burned in a large bonfire with the zombie corpses. Now, that doesn't sound realistic to me, a black man being shot without questions in America, you know?
Well, yeah, maybe.
Talk about topical film made in 1968.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a black man in a house on his own, right? We'll just say it's a zombie.
It's not long till they start doing it, unfortunately. But we're not a political podcast, so let's move on from that.
Zombie!
We're done. Plot slot.
Plot slot.
We're finished. We ran over, don't know by how long.
Probably
Couple of
like a
minutes?
minute. I'd say a
minute,
minute.
half, 2 minutes? Whatever. So it's time to do our next segment, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it is going to be a long one, I think.
Yep.
Frights and delights. So go get yourself the next can of the evening.
Next
Go
one, please.
Roll yourself whatever you're rolling up next. Take another layer off, whatever you want. Just chill, and we'll see what frights and delights.
Beautiful.
Frights and delights.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it, you're ignorant.
They're coming for you.
Stop it, you're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now. Welcome, it's Frights and Delights.
Dear God.
Yeah, we could be voice actors.
Not with that, we couldn't know. No one will forgive us.
Oh, well, never mind.
Well, you were right. I thought I was a bit flat. Anyway, it's time for Frights and Delights.
Yeah,
there's your first fright right there. You go first, Jimmy. What have you got to go with?
I'm going to chuck out quite a lot of frights in this film, because there is a lot.
Okay.
I mean, the whole film, for me, is an absolute delight, and I love it. But there's a lot of inconsistencies and
Issues
and things like that. So the first one, when Johnny is teasing Barbara in the cemetery, he runs away as that first zombie approaches. He stops and looks back at her, and just as he stops, you can see someone ducking into the trees in the background.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah. It's technically a fright.
Yeah.
It's a delight.
Got another one. when Johnny tells Barbara that they have a 3-hour drive ahead of them to return home to Pittsburgh. Later in the film, the TV broadcast is listing local rescue stations. All of the towns' names are given, located in the greater Pittsburgh area. So they are way less than 3 hours away. So it's a geographical mistake.
Inconsistency. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Error in geography.
Maybe they take the scenic route.
Yeah, could have done.
Am I going?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, well, this is a fright. Christian fundamentalist groups accused the filmmakers of Satanism. They claimed they were satanically inspired. This was in reference to the depiction of the undead eating human flesh and a child eating her dead dad and then stabbing her mother to death with a trowel. That's it. I don't know what to say about that. I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna get flat like that, isn't it? 1968.
Yeah, it gets it now.
Yeah, of course it does.
In 2019, but obviously it's bullshit. You're not Satanist just because you make a horror film.
I've got another fright. There's a good bit when Ben kills a zombie. I think it's the first zombie in the farmhouse, and he tells Barbara not to look at the zombie. And you get a close up on the zombie's face, and it's dead, but you can see its eyes moving. It keeps looking up.
Oh,
Because Barbara's stood there in shot, but not in shot, but by the camera, and he just naturally just looks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Right.
Nat pointed that out. I didn't notice it, but she was like, "Yeah, his eyes are moving."
All right, fair
There
enough.
you go.
I don't notice stuff like that much. All right, I've got a delight. It was originally planned for Harry to die, I believe, before his daughter. That would have meant that Helen would have gone down to the basement and seen her husband eating their daughter,
Okay,
and then Harry would have killed Helen.
right.
It was decided this might be crossing a line and be too disturbing, so we got the daughter eating her dad instead, which of course is much better.
Absolutely.
It's completely different. It is basically The Sound of Music when you put it like that.
Yeah, she's on a lot of the pictures and stuff you get, isn't she? The daughter.
Yeah,
It's a very iconic
yeah.
shot of her.
Her and Barbara. I
Yeah,
noticed,
old Babs, who does nothing in the entire film.
but she's all over the place.
Yeah, she was meant to survive, I think,
Yeah,
in the original story, but then I don't know.
changed their mind, obviously.
Everybody dies, which is weird, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, there's always someone who lives to tell the tale.
Yeah, there's not really a main character. I don't think there's a main character that ever stands out and survives. And they all just die, which is, I think it's quite good for 1968.
Yeah, I like it. It doesn't necessarily have to have that soul winner who walks out as the dawn is approaching.
Yeah, we're not all Rick Grimes.
And no, we are not.
As much as we wish we were.
I was
we're
like, then
not
I was
all
like, who's Rick Grimes? Like, oh yeah, Rick Grimes, that TV show I gave up on 2 series ago.
How dare you? Come on.
Actually, I've just downloaded season 7, episode 1. I've been told
Season 7? Jesus Christ, catch up, boy.
season 8's out, right? Finished.
That's like 9, isn't it?
You're on 9 now.
9's done, I think.
Shit, seriously?
Yeah, I think so.
I am behind. No, what's the second season with Negan?
It's like fucking.
I'm starting
7?
that now.
Right, okay.
I fell out of love with it, but everyone tells me I fall back in love with it if I carry on.
Yeah, there's that one season that's a bit shit, but then it kicks off again.
Alright, well,
It's-
I am giving it another go.
Yeah, it's good.
I've
Anyway.
liked it up until that point,
Yeah,
so...
well. I've got another fright.
Yeah, go on then, we've got lots to get on with.
The live television reports, they are all shot in daylight, and they're watching it in the middle of the night in the farmhouse, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Which is a bit weird.
Ah,
I mean, you can't really knock it.
you can.
I mean, you can, because I just said that. They've done it wrong.
Yeah.
But I do love this film. But, yeah, they could have tightened that up a little bit. Tightened a couple of screws on it.
In the words of Noel Gallagher, true perfection has to be imperfect. No, I like this film so much that I just let stuff go. It doesn't really...
Oh yeah.
There must be a reason. I mean, it had such a small budget. Maybe that was you do it when you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a little. I don't know if this is a fright or a delight. You tell me.
Okay.
Judith Odea,
Okay. Yeah.
plays Barbara anyway, is terrified by horror films. She said she was particularly terrified of 1953's House of Wax,
Great
starring
film.
none other than.
Vincent Price.
And who is Vincent Price?
Our Lord and Saviour, Vincent Price.
So she was scared by that film. I like that it gets more dramatic every time.
Yeah, just went with it.
Yeah. We should
Interesting-
harmonise next time. We'll figure that out.
Interesting fact about House of Wax.
Alright, okay.
That's not the original House of Wax, the Vincent Price
The
one.
53?
Yeah.
Okay.
A year earlier, it came out, House of Wax, with a different actor in,
Yeah?
and then they remade it the year after, starring Vincent Price.
Oh, imagine being that original actor.
So they're both really good. I've got them both on DVD, and they're both very good. But the Vincent Price one is
Oh,
better.
I've got an idea. Let's at some point do them back to back.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. House of Wax duo coming up soon.
It's a House of
Before
Wax.
episode 20, I reckon we do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, alright, okay. Okay, another delight. The farmhouse that was used for the shoot did not actually have a basement. The door in the farmhouse that was meant to lead to the basement was just a door fixed to the wall. The actual location of the basement used in the film is in the office that the film crew used in Pittsburgh,
Okay.
which will come back up in some of my frights later on, that office.
Okay, I got a fright. Ben's hammering is always out of sync.
That's a bit of a personal problem. I don't think we should be discussing that on the podcast. How do you mean? With the sound?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll bring more of the sound up in the other rating part
Yeah.
of it. But I've got another bit.
I do have a theory as to why they got a bit of a sound off sometimes, which I'm
Okay.
guessing you might cover anyway, to be honest.
Oh, go on.
Okay. Well, it is one of my frights and delights anyway, so let me have a quick look. Just immerse yourselves for a minute.
I'll give you a quick one.
Yeah.
When they're nailing in the when Ben's nailing the wood,
Is he out of sync?
it's all out of sync. When he's nailing the boarding up the windows and stuff. Now I didn't notice this, but Nat turned to me and went, "Do you know those nails are too small? They're not going to reach the wall."
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed
They're
that
not getting-
first time I watched
Yeah,
it.
they're
I
not getting
remember
by
telling-
they're not getting through the 2x4 to reach the wall. And I was like, "Oh, all right, yeah, cheers. I didn't notice that. It's a good shout."
Yeah, that's the only thing I ever noticed the first time I watched it that was like, that's a bit... that don't make any sense. I can't find what I was going to say. It was someone had a chess game
Yes.
to determine
Okay.
whether the... Are you want to talk about this now, or you bring that up later anyway? Because I
No,
got it in
you
my
go
sound
for it,
effects
go
bit
for
for
it.
the... All right, okay.
Go for it.
Well, this will be covered later again in the rating, but is it someone called Russell had a chess game with a sound engineer to determine how much they were going to pay for the sound engineering, the mix. If he won, they got it for free, but if the sound engineer won, they paid double, and he won, so they got it for free, which may explain some of the inconsistencies.
The shoddy job.
The you of a man who's been skinted out of some money.
Yeah, fair enough. I got another. I'll call it a fright, an inconsistency. I will say I do love this film, and I am picking it apart.
You have
but-
said, and
yeah.
that's our job.
Okay.
Not job.
So-
we get paid for this.
Ben contradicts himself all through the story. He tells Barbara about the gasoline truck. First, he says it's just gotten into a truck he found to listen to the radio when this happened. But then he says that when the gas truck came by, it was all he could do to miss it, interfering his driving. He also says that it was screaming by and that zombies were chasing it on foot and keeping up. But as we know, all the zombies we've seen so far, they ain't moving fast, and Barbara can outrun them. And he also says that the truck was on fire, And as we know by when Ben chucked the chair outside and set it on fire, that zombies are afraid of fire. So either he's a Billy bullshitter or...
Zombies are afraid of stationary fire. Maybe?
Yeah, maybe. There we go. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing I had noticed. I'm not pointing that out to you as well. The office that was used for the basement scene is a bit of a fright. Actually, it's a big fright. So they had their own office in Pittsburgh they used for the basement scenes.
Okay.
That office later flooded. And it happened to be the area where they kept some of the original working print. So that flood destroyed the original working print. Among the footage lost were scenes originally cut from the film and at the insistence of the distributor, the Walter Reed organization.
Yeah.
Sounds more like a mob. These include an extended scene between Harry and Helen in the basement. You can notice an odd cut about 50 minutes into the film. This is where this cut scene was originally. The other cut scene was a shot of lots and lots of zombies traversing the landscape towards the house, and they were apparently both lost forever
Oh,
because of this flood that happened in that basement.
shit.
So that sucks.
Yeah. It's also, it's in the public domain, isn't it, this film?
Yep.
Which is why we use it on our new album,
Yeah.
This Town Called Purgatory, Headstone Horrors.
Where's it available? Just in case I want to listen to it, I'm not plugging it.
It's available on Spotify, iTunes, you can buy it on Amazon, you can get it from Headcheck Records, or you could just email us and we can send you a copy.
Yeah, email us at the madhousePodcast@outlook.com. We'll
There
send
you
a
go.
copy.
£10.
Or-
Beautiful.
Or the Headstone Horrors Facebook page.
There
It's
you
hard
go.
to miss it, actually. It's amazing that not more people are taking it.
Right, this movie was supposedly takes place in April, but there's a calendar in the kitchen that you can see just over Dwayne Jones's shoulder. It says it's December. And also, Tom and his girlfriend Judy, they say they get stuck there because they're supposedly going to the lake to swim. But it's April, and it's April in America, and that's fucking cold. Why are you going to a lake?
Is
So
that all
something
over
about
America,
their
is
story.
it colder in April?
Well, that's true. Well, yeah. Something about their story don't ring true.
Texas in April. If you're from Texas, let us know what the weather's like in April.
Oh, it's Pittsburgh, isn't it?
All right, if you're from Pittsburgh, let us know about the weather in April. And what else did you say?
It was.
Is this place abandoned before the zombies, or do you think it's been abandoned since December?
Well, we never find out why the. Is it a woman? I think it's a woman upstairs who's dead. The Barbara finds.
Never found out why she's dead.
We never find out why she's dead, or we never find out why she doesn't come back to life.
Yeah, I wondered
zombie.
that.
Also, Johnny comes back to life at the end and inevitably kills Barbara or drags Barbara away.
Yeah.
But at the start, he falls onto a gravestone and cracks his canister, and that's how he dies.
Yeah.
Breaks his brain. But you kill a zombie by destroying the brain. So why
he
is
might
he
die from like blood loss.
No, he cracked his head on the thing.
Yeah, but also
Why
we
does he
didn't know
come
that he
back to
died. He
life?
could have been knocked out, and then he's in a graveyard. So all the stuff that comes back to life could have eaten him and killed him, and then he come back to life.
Nothing's coming back to life in the graveyard.
I'm gonna let that one go.
There's only that one zombie in the graveyard that kills him.
Yeah,
And
but
he falls
if
on it.
he
He cracks his head open.
falls and hits his head,
Yeah.
she legs it. I mean, the zombie that I don't know because that went to the house.
Yeah, the zombie follows him to the house.
I'm willing to let it go that he could have died in another way, or died from blood loss from hitting the head and didn't really damage the brain that much.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, yeah. You've probably got a good point there. Yeah.
Good scene though when he comes back. I'm just trying to defend the story that lets that happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Lost his glasses.
Well,
I'm surprised you can see
maybe
where he's going.
The undead have probably got good vision. Actually, I doubt it.
No, actually, probably not. I can't imagine that the eyesight works either. 'Cause there's no brain function. There's nothing. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's literally you're dead, so surely you can't see anything. So
Maybe
it's
they're
sounds.
attracted by sound.
It is sounds, I think. So yeah, there you go.
We
Lovely.
may never know.
No.
So Russo, who was a writer and producer, said The Night of the Living Dead was the first film to ever have flesh-eating undead. They had to come up from scratch, figure out how the ghouls, air quotes, because they're not zombies, acted and moved. In the script, the ghouls were written as slow-moving, but also incredibly strong, so they could break in doors, tear out windows, etc. It wasn't clear how to portray that well, and Romero's direction was apparently, allegedly, to just do it anyway.
Yeah.
That seems to have worked.
Yeah.
I think the guy in the graveyard was the first guy.
Yeah.
And the way he walks and stumbles around, he had to just come up with how an undead would
Fucking smashed it.
and it's carried on for decades in
That
that
is
same
literally
style.
that is literally the formula now. Now I prefer the slow moving zombie to the
World War Z.
yes
Yeah?
/ 28 days later.
Oh, yeah,
quick
yeah.
fast zombies. I prefer the slow moving one.
Do you?
I think that's the correct way. They're dead flesh.
Yeah, I don't have a favourite.
Ah, pick a bloody favourite. Are they slow moving, Chief? Yeah, they're all dead. They're all messed up.
Yeah, I get it. But there is something about in World War Z when they were chucking themselves around a corner really fast because they're moving, but they're dead. So they don't give a shit about breaking an arm.
I think it's a different kind of. I think it's the way that the zombie has been created. So I think, like 28 days later, World War Z. I think it was a man-made toxin
Oh yeah.
that infected them, so they move fast. In Night of the Living Dead, it's supposedly the radiation from the space probe from Venus, which I like.
Yeah.
Which I think is my favourite one. And then also you've got the other part where it's like the Haitian voodoo style.
Yeah, the bringing
Cause.
people back.
Yes.
Have you? I am on season 7 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
About to start.
Yeah.
Or second season of Negan in it. I don't know what season that is.
I
7
think
or 8.
it's 7. I think
Might
it's
be
6 or
8.
7 or 8.
In fact, I literally downloaded it to watch the first episode on the bus on the way here, and then I met someone I knew on the bus and didn't watch it because I was talking on the way. Anyway, have you found out in The Walking Dead what caused the reaction for everyone to come back from? Because everyone's infected, aren't they?
Yes, it's in the air, isn't it?
Yeah, but do we know
But
what
it's-
it is?
No, we don't know what it is yet.
Right.
Which
Maybe
I like.
if they make it radiation from Venus, that'd be a nice touch.
So, well, yeah, exactly. And it's the same on Shaun of the Dead, one of the greatest comedy horror films
Yeah.
ever made.
Can we do that?
Yeah, we have to do that
Yeah,
because
good.
it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
And they have the same bit at the start. It's on the radio's playing, talking about a space ship
Yeah.
as well. And that's the cause of the zombies in that film as well, which is nice.
That is a great film.
Fucking brilliant film.
I like that we have a wide boundary in our our version of what horror is. We can
Yeah.
cover anything. You going?
No, I'm alright.
Have you run out?
I'm out. Yeah, I'm done.
Oh,
I've got
I've got a few. So
go on
this is
then.
definitely going to run over. We're 40-something minutes in. But I don't give a shit. It's fine.
special.
It's
It's
not
a
the Living
special one,
Dead.
isn't it? It's
It
a special
is.
one.
Number 10. We never fully expected either of us, I think, to reach episode 10.
Nope.
But we ain't slowing down. Not like zombies. We're the World War Z zombies. We're coming at you. Anyway, a lady called Betty Aberlin. This is a fright, by the way, and it might be controversial because I know a man I'm about to talk about is very popular in the US. A lady called Betty Aberlin, who was a star on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Do you know what that is?
No.
Have you heard of Mr. Rogers?
Mr. Rogers is a horse.
No.
Who am I thinking of?
Mr. Rogers is being depicted in a film by Tom Hanks soon. It was a TV presenter, I think, for kids stuff. He was very
Right.
homely, lovely, amazing. Everybody loves him. Anyway, Betty Aberlin was a star on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and she was Romero's first choice to play Barbara. However, Fred Rogers, who is Mr. Rogers himself, these are the words I found, would not allow her to do
Okay.
it. I think I would allow him to stick it where the sun don't shine if you're telling me what jobs I can and can't take.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
1968 though.
yeah, but man,
Don't make it right, I suppose.
Mr. Rogers, and I am from the UK, so I am outside of this, and even I know Mr. Rogers has held up a bastion of brilliance and equality ahead of his time and everything. So there might be an email about that. Anyway, move on again. Judith Ridley kept her outfit from the film. The trousers became her painting trousers, and the shirt became a dish rag. I'm guessing they'd have been worth some money, but probably not now.
Oh yeah, definitely not now.
You've said that the film slipped into the public domain. This is because back in the day, you could get your copyright, but if you didn't display the copyright notice on your film, then it wasn't protected.
Oh fuck.
And due to a up and them not knowing what they're doing, or Romero not knowing what he was doing, it was his first film, and it found public domain. So a lot of that money probably didn't go to him.
Shit.
In fact, no, it would have done, wouldn't it? Anyway, found public domain, whatever that means. You can get it for free.
It means we can. It means you can.
You won't be sued.
No, you can copy the film and sell it.
Does it
yourself.
mean if a band wanted to, we could take sound bites from it and use it as intros and bits of tracks? If you were a band, like if you were called Headstone Horrors,
Yeah.
you had an album called This Time Called Purgatory.
Yes, I believe there are some on that track on that album.
Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
Another fright / delight. The film came out just before the rating system was implemented in the USA. I think it's the IMPAE, something like that. Basically, they put an age on it.
Yeah.
So it was released without a rating, meaning that children of any age could buy a ticket to see it. The famous film critic Roger Ebert, who was very famous up until still famous now, but he died.
Yeah.
He said in his review he was concerned for the children he saw watching the film, who were becoming genuinely traumatized at the horror and gore they were watching and were not prepared for.
Wow. Whew.
A month later, rating systems came in. I don't think it's related to the fact that happened, but because it takes obviously a long time to get those things sorted out anyway. Another fright. Nope, we've already done that. Why did the body not come back to life? The Walter Reed organisation, the distributor, took out a $50,000 insurance policy to cover people watching the film and dying from a heart attack.
Shit.
This turned out to just be a publicity stunt to work up a fuss about the film and get people to go and watch it. They clearly figured out early on the scare tactic being used like that, because people do seem to see stuff like that as a challenge. It is a ploy that's been used over and over again by companies marketing horror films. For example, The Omen.
Yes.
Was it The Omen that had people have died watching this film at the first screenings? Or heart attacks and screaming?
Heart attack because of the when the woman she hangs herself right at the start. It's a very shocking bit.
Yeah, okay. And I'm sure that's exactly how it sounded. In fact, that was an actual recording of it happening, people. Exclusive, there you go, yeah. I can't use it again, I have to pay a load of money. And The Exorcist, I believe, from memory, had some law around people dying who were related to making the film.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it's something that's been used a lot. Okay, I got two more, I think. Yes. One of them you've already said, graphically depicted murder the first time, and I called it out a bit. I apologise. But Psycho, 1960, 8 years before this, woman killed in the bathtub.
Yes.
So is that
Shower, yeah.
Is that classed as violently depicting murder? Because if this is the first film to
Sort of.
graphically depict a violent, graphically might be the word there.
I don't
changes
know.
it.
I think it's a different kind. Because she got knifed. These people are getting eaten and shot. I don't know.
But it's graphically
It is
depicting murder.
Yeah, it is. But
Anyway.
you don't. You only
Surely
see it
in
in the
those-
shadow, though, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, and the blood's going down the drain.
Oh, I'm wanking off a really tall man.
You are. I was just about to say. Jimmy was just doing the motion of hacking someone to death, which looks exactly like wanking off an elephant. Anyway,
Shaquille O'Neal.
okay, my last delight, and we'll move on. We've got 15 minutes before we hit the hour mark. Less 30 minutes before we hit the hour mark.
Nah, we're running over. It's fine. It's special.
Delight. I'm going to take my time just so we do run over, no matter what. George A. Romero said he was influenced heavily by the 1962 classic Carnival of Souls.
Wicked film.
It is a wicked film. I had that DVD case fresh from watching it next to me when I found this, and I thought that was a nice coincidence.
Such
to
a
let
good
you know.
film, especially to watch when you're stoned as well. It's really good.
I have not watched it when I was stoned.
Yeah, it's weird.
So, are we done for Frights and Delights?
Sort of, but I'm gonna come at you with some. I'm gonna come at you with a top 10 Jimmy's Zombie Survival Guide.
Nice. As long as I don't come out with a trowel, you can come at me however you want.
Right. Number 1. What you think you should be doing, do the opposite. Right?
Yeah.
Because the other people, if you're thinking like, right, I need to get out of the city, nah, everyone else is thinking that. So you need to wait, hold it back, because that's going to be a fucking buffet for zombies.
Yeah,
and it's
traffic
gonna make,
jams.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to make more zombies out there. 2, turn on the telly. You got to see what's going on. Get the news on. Get the radio on. See what's happening.
Yeah.
Right. 3, hunker down. Make your place safe. I live on the 3rd floor, so that's quite good, and it's gated.
Yeah, yeah.
Community? Well, it's gated anyway.
That
4.
sounds really posh.
Yeah, it does. It's not. 4. You got to get supplies. Luckily, like, live next to a couple of shops, so we can nip down. Obviously, after point 1, people are going to have scarpered, so you can nip down, get a load of supplies, bring them back to your flat. 5, weapon. You need a weapon. If you're going out there, you need a weapon. What are you saying? Can't get guns, because...
Oh, I got loads of weapons. I'm a gardener.
That's true. You have.
I have one particularly amazing one, which is a wooden handle, and it literally has an 8-inch blade on the edge.
That's good.
And it's made for grabbing your cabbages and hacking at the roots. You leave the roots in there to decay in the soil.
Beautiful. That is perfect. We can't get guns. Ranged weapons are the best, but we can't. We ain't getting guns at this point. Early on, so I'm saying broomstick with a knife on the end.
Yeah,
Bang.
that's what I've got, basically.
Yeah. Baseball bat. Well, cricket bat if you're in England. Baseball bat if you're in America.
You seal.
Yes. Okay. 6. Don't hesitate to kill the zombies because they ain't thinking twice. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to go for them because they ain't thinking.
Yeah.
So you can't dick about. You've got to go at it, kill them. Right. 7. Think of transport. Right? But the roads are blocked. What are you going to do? I'm saying I'm going to try and get or in my head, my scenario always was to get some sort of off-road bike. Do you know what I mean? Take
Motocross
it across so
bike.
you don't have to do roads.
Yeah.
Or another one, get down the canal, get a barge. Just potter on down the canal.
Yeah, they're not getting across the water.
Right. 8. Head to the hills. You want to go somewhere where there's not a lot of people. So we live close to the Peak District.
Yeah.
So get down there, camp up for a bit. 9. You got to find. Eventually, you got to find other survivors. So you could trade goods or come together, clear out an area.
Yeah.
Beautiful. 10. Obviously, rebuild. Rebuild your community. Make a little town. Be beautiful.
Yeah.
Right. That's Jimmy's Zombie Survival Guide.
That's nice. I feel like you rushed through that for time.
I did.
liked
If you wanna message me any, I will happily email you back any more details because I've thought about it quite a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Message Jimmy with the heading Jimmy's Survival Tips.
Yes, and if you want to add some, do it. We can make a massive list and we can put it online. It'd be great.
Yeah, we'll come up with a list for all of you. We'll be the only ones that know. Okay. That was Frights and Delights, wasn't
Yes!
it? Right. Nice little list for your survival there. And now we are going to do a little mosey on over to Master of the Macabre again.
Shit, yeah.
Master of the Macabre.
Welcome to the Master of the Macabre, where we are going to now choose our favourite actor or actress in this film who did the best job and who deserves our much sought after award, medal.
Yep, they are literally banging at the door again for it.
Tearing down the boards.
Yeah, we've nailed up the door with 2 short nails, so they might get in.
Who knows? But I have one choice. What do you have?
I have one choice, but an honourable mention.
Okay,
It's not a wig this time, like the last episode.
Was there a wig in this film?
Not that I noticed.
Then does it even deserve to be on the podcast? Okay, so I got one. You've got one. Are we gonna argue it out, or is it the same person?
Well, who have you got?
So you say it after 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Dwayne Jones.
Okay. So, well done, Dwayne Jones. You want to go first as to why? Or am I going first?
First African American to have a starring role in a mainstream horror film. He was also a professor of English at New York State University. I don't think he starred in a couple of films after Ganja and Hess and Vampires before his untimely death in 1988, and he was only 51 years old. Died from heart failure. So rest in peace. Boy.
That sucks.
Yeah, I think he played a. If you've got to pick a main character in Night of the Living Dead, he is probably the standout one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Barbara doesn't do fuck all in the whole film. She's set up to be the main character, isn't she? From the get-go.
Yeah, she's the one who's held up as the main character.
Yeah. But then Ben comes in, giving it the big un. And I think he steals the show a little bit. And then, ridiculous.
Ben is the one who knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's the Rick Grimes. He's the Black Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
1968, Black Rick Grimes.
Ben's the hero for me. He is level-headed, tough, understanding with the comatose Barbara hanging out, not doing anything. I'm totally on board with him all the way because he plays his part so well. When he shoots Harry, it even makes sense to me. Like he's played so well. You can feel Ben's frustration with everyone, because Dwayne is so on point. Have you ever seen a film called Falling Down?
No, I don't think so.
It's one of the Douglases. Anyway, he's irritated and frustrated the whole time, everyone. I can feel that when Ben's frustrated. He feels the same to me. He's surrounded by idiots.
I don't think Tom's an idiot.
No, Tom's alright. Yeah, Tom. Yeah.
Harry's an idiot. Barbara's comatose and a bit shit. Judy fucks it up
Yeah.
when she goes. She should have stayed inside.
Yeah.
Like Tom would still be alive if it wasn't for
Yeah.
fucking Judy going out of the house. Harry's wife's alright, and his daughter's dead. But yeah,
So, yeah.
couple of idiots.
He's annoyed at one point that Barbara's lack of togetherness, and you can just feel it's kind of real. If Ben wasn't there, Harry gets everyone in the house killed.
Yeah.
Like really early on.
Yes.
It's an half an hour film. The last bit I'll say about Dwayne, he does an absolute brilliant speech about 27 minutes in. His performance in that speech is the closest I've seen in a horror film to an Oscar-worthy moment, especially at this time period.
Okay. Yeah. They
Before
wouldn't give it.
modern.
They wouldn't give him an Oscar though.
They wouldn't. It was a horror film, and other things they would pick out about him, I feel.
Yeah, black man. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole scene of him doing a speech, and Barbara does a speech afterwards, is very good as well. But his is like a masterpiece all of its own. He steals the show in that few minutes of dialogue, and that for me, even if the rest of the film had been on par with everyone else, that would lift him up for Master of the Macabre for me.
Oh my fuck! I've just read something.
Okay.
I did not know. So, Morgan Jones from The Walking Dead,
Yes.
you know, with
Yeah.
a stick.
Yeah.
His son, Dwayne,
Yeah.
was named after Dwayne Jones in his honour.
Shit.
That's good.
Yeah, that's cool.
Didn't know that. Just read it there.
Wow.
That's nice.
Sly Googling or whatever on the side there.
Lovely.
Nice.
That's a nice little touch. Dwayne Jones.
Yep.
Doctor, actually, he was Doctor. It's Dr. Dwayne Jones now.
Dr. Jones.
Doc-
Dr. Jones. Seriously.
No, we're better than this. Come on.
Let's not have an aqua reference in our horror podcast. Anyway, they didn't run. Or they just stood there, staring at me. I just wanted to crush them, and they scattered through the air. Like bugs. It's the end of his speech, by the way.
Beautiful.
Not talking about aqua still.
Right, Dwayne.
You had an honourable mention.
Cheers.
You had an honourable mention?
I had an honourable mention.
You said you had
yes,
an honourable
I did.
mention.
Fuck, sorry, miles away. I think we all know the image of the young girl. She's like on the
Karen.
Karen, played by what's her name? Kyra. Is it?
Sean?
Yeah.
It's spelt Kyra space Schon.
Kyra Sean. Honourable mention to her because she kills her mum with a cement trowel, which I thought was nice.
Yeah.
And she's made it onto basically all the DVD covers and pictures and shit that you get. She's freaky. It's always freaky when a child
Zombies out.
kills you. So there you
Or
go.
is a twin in a hallway, or is
Definitely a
one of
twin
those
always,
quiet kids who
but-
doesn't say anything and just follows you around.
So she hasn't continued acting. She is just teaching art and making handmade sterling silver and bronze jewellery now, apparently, and greeting cards featuring her pooch, which is called Spiffy. Anyway,
Sometimes we dig deep on these people.
back to
I wonder why.
the master of the macabre, Dr. Dwayne Jones. Well done.
We are sending you your medal in the post, Dr. Jones. So wake up now. Okay?
That's true. Will he come back from the dead? Probably not. Heart failure? Yeah, he probably will. No, he won't. He's buried. Sorry, going on a tangent. Stop it.
He's been digging himself up since the 80s.
Calling out.
A bit disrespectful, sorry. Okay, shit. An hour in, Jimmy, and we are just an hour-ish, and we are just starting the Madhouse rating system.
Yeah.
The Madhouse rating system.
Right, here we go. This is the Madhouse rating system. First up, we got tension and suspense.
Right, I usually bang on for ages about tension and suspense, but I don't think I'm going to too much on this one.
Okay.
Not because there isn't any, but I just didn't write much because it was repeating a lot of stuff I said before.
Yeah.
About other episodes, but there is a bit of psychological tension with the whole they're outside and we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And it grows, especially at the time the film's released.
Yes.
With us, we know.
Yeah.
But when the film's released, you don't know what is going on necessarily.
No.
And that kind of grows. At first, there's just the one ghoul. And as the film moves on, there are slowly more and more of them outside. At the end of the film, it's built up into one big swarm of them outside, and they can't escape. By the time we reach a certain point, it's grown into a tense survival horror,
Yeah.
where people are dying, and we don't know who is next to die. We don't know what's going to happen. You are questioning what's going to happen at the end, and if you were trying to figure out the end watching it in modern days, I doubt you would guess what happened at the end, because everyone dies.
Yeah.
Which is not exactly usually what happens now. Rick Grimes always survives, doesn't he?
Oh, you just need to keep watching, boy.
What, does something happen to Rick Grimes?
Just keep watching.
Shit, really?
Just keep watching.
Bollocks. There are moments of panic. Barbara being chased at the beginning. Obviously, our first little bit of tension. Boarding up the windows as ghouls are trying to get to them is a nice bit of tension. The reveal of the family hiding in the basement adds another layer of complication, which I love. Because they didn't necessarily have to for the film, but adding a human conflict inside the house itself, so they are not just fighting a threat that's trying to get in.
Yeah.
They're now fighting amongst themselves in what's supposed to be the place they're making safe. This house that up until now has been their, in air quotes, safe place.
Which is, I think, is always going to be our downfall in the zombie apocalypse. Is not the actual zombies, it's the
Ourselves.
human beings. Yes.
It's Rick Grimes and Negan. As far as I know so far, anyway. But yeah, their safe place now become another front to the battle of their human survival that they're now fighting. It's like fighting a civil war where you're fighting a war abroad as well.
It's a battle within a larger battle.
Yes. But the introduction of these extra characters, this family that's arisen from the basement,
Very good.
is it? Thank you. Is done at a perfect time to up the ante, so the film keeps a good pace, and it makes sure that the dynamic is constantly shifting, making sure that as the viewer are never relaxed watching it. We're not getting bored because there's something added to this film.
Yeah.
Constantly, it doesn't stop ramping up the conflict.
Yeah.
You're drawn in by the events and all the suspense being thrown at us. That's my take on tension and suspense there.
I love how we're with Barbara right at the start, and we follow her through the up and coming events of the zombie apocalypse, and we think, oh, we're gonna be sticking with Barbara the whole way through it to the end of the film, but then inevitably she gets killed by Johnny, which is, I think, is a little bit of a nice little twist, because
Yeah, definitely.
and then everybody dies at the end, and we're like, wow. I think we said before, there's like no main characters, but it all builds up and everybody dies at the end.
Yeah, there's good like character dynamic building up through what was the last Reanimator when I said about it's not as good as Reanimator in terms of character dynamic and all these things, but it has a similar sort of thing going on. Barbara is 100% set up at the beginning of the film to be the person you're expecting to be sat in the grass as the sun rises up.
Yeah, you're expecting her to be the last one out of that farmhouse.
If you were asked 20 minutes in the ending of this film, you could go, well, she's probably stumbling out that front door as the sun's coming up, and she's the lone survivor. Sorry,
she's going to be covered in blood. She's going to have killed a lot of zombies, but in the end, no, which is good. I like it.
Yeah. Just subvert expectations.
Yeah, I'm saying a star.
I'm saying a star as well.
Lovely. Right, next up is... What is it?
Gore and
visual effects.
It's got a good amount of gore.
Lovely.
It was criticised a lot on release because it had what was seen as graphic levels of gore in abundance. They're my words. It's not a quote. I said it like it was a quote. It's my words. It's quite tame by today's standards, but it's still pretty good. It's not tame.
Yeah.
But it's at the time was criticised a lot. Night of the Living Dead was an early user of squibs. Do you know what squibs are?
Yes, the things, it's like a little explosive that you have on your chest, like a blood pack, and then they fire it and it goes... Pew!
You've put it better than I wrote it down. They're the things the things you strapped yourself and it exploded blood-like substance.
Yeah, squib.
There was a debate over whether it was actually the first film to use them.
Oh, okay.
But it did come to light that a Polish film called Pokolenie, Russian-y Pokolenie. Is that right? They used them, or a similar setup to a squib. Might not necessarily been exactly the same, but that was in 1955.
Ah, right. The zombie hand that Tom hacks up with a kitchen knife, was made of clay and filled with chocolate syrup. Now, this is not the first incident of chocolate syrup in it. Apparently, when you see the zombies eating Tom and Judy, they were eating roast ham and chocolate syrup. Apparently, it was so nauseating that they thought, oh, we don't actually need this makeup because we all feel sick from eating roast ham and chocolate syrup. But it sounds all right. I think it doesn't sound like
nice honey roast ham with a bit of chocolate syrup on it. I'd try it.
So, I watched the colorized version the other day.
How was it? How was it different? How was the chocolate sauce?
Well, they painted it red for a start, to look like the blood.
What, in the colorization process?
Yeah, they painted it red. It looks alright. Sorry, I don't know where I'm going with that. Anyway.
I'm confused. Was the chocolate sauce originally made to look red?
No.
No,
No,
in
no,
the
no.
actual...
So when you watch it in the black and white, it's
Yeah.
just chocolate
Yeah,
sauce,
yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it? And
yeah.
it's roast ham, and they're eating it. But when I watched the colorized version the other day, they obviously they have to paint it red. Well, I don't know. It's interesting. I
It
suppose.
is interesting. That's why I was
Do you know how they
asking
do
further, 'cause
that?
I don't know.
Colorized.
No, no idea.
Apparently, they get the film, and then they hand paint on the color
God.
on the film.
Really?
Apparently, yeah. And then eventually,
Cell by cell?
yeah,
'Cause
that's
that
what
would
they
take
did
forever.
back. That's what they did back in the day, like before. And then when computers come round, they can do it by computer.
I suppose that's not actually that different to animation back in the day.
But just like I was watching it and thinking, God, that's all like hand painted.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mental. Anyway, the body upstairs in the house that we see when Barbara runs up the stairs was made by director George Romero, and interestingly, he used ping pong balls for the eyes. They look freaky as
They
well.
are very eyeball shit. They look right at you, don't they?
And then in a later shot, I think it's a woman that they drag away.
Yeah, I did read that. I can't remember who it was. Someone in the production crew.
So, yeah.
Because the dragging the mannequin down looked ridiculous.
Yeah, that's it, yes.
Okay, where am I? Partway through the shoot. Is this in Go on Visual Effects? I'm going to read it anyway.
Yeah.
Partway through the shoot, they managed to bag some more investors, and the new investors brought up the possibility of shooting in colour. Yes, it is in here. Instead of black and white. At this time, they had already shot 1 week's worth of footage, and a switch to colour would mean switching out to 60mm film. I don't know what the difference is.
I think it costs more. I think it's a matter of cost wherever you do it in
Yeah,
colour
but
or
I don't know
black.
what mil film they use for black and white. That's what I mean.
No, I don't either.
Alright, so it would have cost more anyway.
Yeah.
It would have meant reshooting all the stuff they'd already done. So it was decided to sack that idea off and stick with black and white, which I'm glad they did.
Definitely.
I
yeah.
think it actually helped the film in the long run being in black and white, because I reckon some of the techniques used for the gore would not have held up near as well. One example I've written down here, is the chocolate sauce.
Yes.
Used as blood would have looked a bit shit if it was in colour. But you've just told me they repainted it painstakingly frame by frame to look red.
Yeah.
But it does look great as it is in black and white. So a hell of a lot of money saved, I would have thought.
Yeah. They used a lot of silly putty and other basic special effects techniques, but a lot of the body parts of the zombies were real internal organs and bones from animals.
Yummy.
So that's good. Might as well get involved with it. You're a cannibal. Let's gnaw on a bone.
So were they actually eating... The people who played the zombies actually chewing down
Yeah.
on raw...
Yeah, like bones and shit. Yeah.
I think they got paid a bit more for that. I know in Return of the Living Dead, didn't they do that? And he paid
paid them more to eat...
and did it himself.
Yeah, they paid them more to eat, like...
Yeah.
What was it? Calf brains?
Yeah,
Some
something
sort
like
of
that.
brains. Yeah.
Okay, the screenwriter John Russo was set on fire as a zombie because no one else wanted to do it. Romero later said he liked the way Russo moved as an undead guy, to which Russo said, "I was probably hungover."
Yes, I love this guy.
Nothing changes in, 51 years?
Yeah.
It's all the same. The scene where the zombie daughter kills her mother was achieved by having, what was her name? Shlon? Kyra Shlon? She stabbed a pillow that was off screen while someone threw chocolate sauce onto the wall. These shots were then spliced together with the shots of Marilyn Eastman screaming to get the effect of the murder without actually having a child act out the violence we saw on screen.
Lovely.
That's all I have for Go on Visual Effects, but I tell you now, I'm giving it a star.
Yeah, let's give it a star. Right. Next up, it is performance.
So, the cast was great. The zombies were revolutionary. The way they move and groan an act, an attack. It just became what a zombie is in future films.
Yeah.
And those actors had to do that for the first time for that to happen.
And now it's a fucking staple. It's literally
Yes.
the formula.
So you've got to give them that. I mean, who knows what balance it was of actors and actresses deciding to act a certain way and the director telling them to act a certain way. I'm guessing it was some percentage division, but we'll
Yeah.
never know. So that was a good performance. I didn't find anything anywhere about the cast doing extra work like we have in previous episodes. We've talked about people in films going the extra mile, the
Well-
extra lengths the actors have gone to in researching a role.
Yeah, maybe not a role, but Carl Hardman, who played Harry Cooper, he was also the makeup artist and electronic sound effects engineer, and took the still photos used at the closing credits.
All right, okay.
So that's an extra
He
little
went
bit.
a bit of a yeah. Was he a producer as well?
Harry? No, I don't think he was.
Oh, okay.
No. Oh, yes, he was.
I
Actually,
thought I
sorry,
read-
actor, co-producer. Yes, he
Yeah.
was. Sorry, my bad.
I mean, we've had people we've talked about going to insane asylums and staying in character for hours, hanging out, trying to
Yeah.
figure out how to play a role. I don't see any evidence of anyone doing that. Still, I reckon it's pretty solid performance for a 1968 zombie film
Definitely.
in terms of the acting performance.
Yeah. The character of Ben was originally supposed to be a crude but resourceful truck driver with no specification to race. But after Dwayne Jones, in a real life, self-serious, erudite academic auditioned for the part, director George A. Romero rewrote the part to fit his performance, which is a nice little.
He was originally a lot angrier, wasn't he? I think in there.
Yeah, supposed to be. Yeah, supposed to be a bit of a dick.
But Dwayne did not want to play a dicky, angry black man
No.
during this period of time, which is very understandable. Let's talk about ladies.
Oh, okay.
Ladies in this film are once again, as so often are in all films from certain periods, especially horror films from this period, underutilized. Being
Yes.
mostly used as a scream machines that can run. Get hysterical, requiring the use of dildos. Maybe they didn't know it at the time. But we have covered that. What was that in? House on Haunted Hill.
Dildos.
Yeah. And dildos came up in Reanimator.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, the dildo enthusiast.
Yes. So 3 out of 10. That's 30% of our podcast so far have dildos in. Anyway, so they used to panic uselessly, but they put in awesome performances, given the restraint of the role. Barbara, we've taken the piss out of her for just being a bit hysterical and quiet, but she plays the part really well.
Yeah.
The character is useless, but the actress has to play that part really well for her to come across as useless
Yeah.
and not just ridiculous. So I just wanted to mention.
I think Judy is very good as well until she decides to go out and help Tom with the car and then inevitably blows up the car and dies. But up until that point, Judy is very good.
She is, yeah, and that.
Like,
But
she
the
knows
end
what's going on.
lets it down because once again, it's here's a woman. She gets a bit hysterical. She panics. She runs out after a man.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
Fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Stupid woman.
What's Harry's
type
wife?
thing.
Yeah, what's Harry's wife called? Helen? Is it Helen?
Yeah.
She was alright as well. She had a bit about her. She knew what was going on. She kept telling Harry, "Oi, stop being a dick."
Yeah.
And then
But
she
he
got
didn't.
killed by her daughter.
Yeah.
So they were alright.
But anyway, I wanted to give them their due because it's hard to give them Master and the Carb in this era of film when you put in a role that is not in any way meant to stand out
Yeah. when
as
you've only got a little
anything
bit.
else except the woman.
Yeah.
And women are better than that. I mean, I'm not dissing the film, by the way, as not being progressive, because Dwayne Jones had a leading role, and he was a black American in an American film in 1968, and he was knocking it out of the park,
Beautiful.
and deserves a lot of respect as an actor.
Right, what are we saying for performance?
I'd give it a performance out of overall. Do you know what I mean? No, you're taking it one away. You're not giving it a star.
Yeah, let's give it a star. Yeah,
You don't have to give it a star.
Yeah, let's give it a star.
No, don't be swayed by me.
No,
You're
let's
gonna
give
say
it a
so.
star. Let's
Alright.
give it a star. Boom. Right, next. Overall experience.
No.
No.
Musical score and sound effects.
Musical, sorry, hit the mic. Musical score and sound effects. I'm going to come off the bat and say I'm going to not give it a star.
Okay.
Because,
I'm with you.
and I'll tell you for why. I think the overdubbing was not very good. Like,
Yeah,
there's a lot of scenes where they're talking and the word don't match their mouth.
You didn't realise this is an audio thing and they can't see that you're moving your mouth when you're not talking.
Oh.
I enjoyed it.
Well. And also, there's one scene that really annoyed me. Ben and Barbara are in the farmhouse very early on, and there's an overpowering sound of crickets.
Mm-hmm.
Really loud, like it's like annoyingly loud, and like they're in the house. Sort it out. Like, is
Okay,
there
yeah,
crickets
yeah.
in the house? I don't know, but
Well,
I think it's probably maybe it's just the time and how it was done at the time, but
I
don't
think
know.
it's because some guy lost a game of chess and wasn't getting paid for the damn thing.
That's true. Yeah, forgot about him.
The soundtrack is a very 60s soundtrack with wavering effects that would fit most 60s films or TV shows, no matter what they were. It suits the intro Night of the Living Dead fantastically, which means they picked the right stock music they bought without getting anything made. But it would also suit Captain Kirk landing on a planet full of sexy aliens, is what I imagined when I was watching it. Throughout the 50s and 60s, it was common for productions to purchase music from record labels instead of paying for original scores if you were on a budget. So lots of the same music was used on various different productions. This music was stock music purchased for $1,500 from Capitol and EMI Records. The main score was used previously in Teenager from Outer Space in 1959.
Okay.
When Ben fails to put petrol in the truck, because it's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You have to get the thing in the hole, put it in right, and then make sure it squirts properly. and he gets back to the house. Why are you giggling? he has a fist fight with Harry. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
The music from that scene was used in the Lone Ranger episode in 1956. The scene it was used in was also for a fist fight.
Oh, okay.
The music used for Barbara legging it from the graveyard was also used in The Hideous Sun Demon in 1958. And the final episode ever of The Fugitive in 1963. And that's it. That's all I got. The next bit I got is about the chess game, where the sound engineer figured he was working for free, so he wasn't going to put much effort into it.
Yeah, fair enough. So, the Misfits on their 1982 album Walk Among Us had a song called Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
And it's also mentioned in a song by Green Day called Macy's Day Parade. And Misfits also did the soundtrack to Land of the Living Dead. Land of the Dead, sorry, not Living Dead.
Then we'll come into that legal dispute later. It is part of a legal dispute, isn't it, the titling?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's that Russo got The Living Dead, and George A Romero went on to do Of the Dead.
Okay.
We talked about it in
an episode.
Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah, it would have been, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not getting a.
I don't think so, because of that guy who won the chess game or lost the chess game. Did he lose the chess game or did he win it?
The engineer lost, so he had to do it for free.
Right, so he did a shit job. There we go. No
Yeah.
star. 4. Right, now, overall experience.
Okay, well, this one is a more complicated one for overall experience for me.
Okay.
Because we have the whole zombie film industry as we know it due to this film.
Yeah.
From the rules surrounding the zombies, like shooting them in the head to kill them,
Yeah.
the way the zombies move,
Yeah.
the fact they eat human flesh,
Yeah.
apart from the brains that came later in Return of the Living Dead. But even that isn't. The Walking Dead doesn't use that.
Nope.
If you like zombie films, modern zombie films, then this film is still, and will for a long time, be a big influence on all the zombie films you like.
Definitely.
So I'm saying this because the overall experience of this film, it extends far beyond the boundaries of just this film. It shot into popular culture. It changed what a film about the risen dead is. Its influence is still here decades after its release. The Walking Dead has been a huge hit over the last few years as a TV series and takes almost all of its lore straight from George A. Romero's zombie flicks. But, that said, even excluding any reach it's had outside of itself, it's a great film, and I'd give it a star even if it hadn't had that influence.
Yeah, absolutely. This has made zombies, and zombies now are fucking massive and popular, aren't they? Like,
They're everywhere.
Like, can't get enough of like little zombie films coming out all over the shop. You got this, and then you've got Dawn of the Dead, and then you've got Day of the Dead, you've got Land of the Dead, you've got Diary of the Dead, Survival of the Dead. Great. I love them. I just can't wait for the zombie apocalypse because I'm ready.
You're
I
right,
don't know
well,
about you?
Wait a while till we get some email responses and to add to your list.
Yeah, let's get a few more listeners and then I'm on it.
This film has set up a law rules, even not even law, but rules of how
Rules.
to do a zombie film.
Definitely. Rules.
So much that even then, when films come out like 28 days later or World War Z, and someone tweaks those rules a little bit, people, a large proportion of fans of zombie films are like, "No, what the fuck are you doing? Zombies can't run. You're stupid. You've not seen Night of the Living Dead."
That's true. And if it does actually happen and zombies do take over and I go out there and I try and stab a zombie in the brain and it doesn't work, I'm blaming George A. Romero.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Because he set out the rules.
Yeah.
And if they start running and they start climbing up to my 3rd floor flat,
Yeah.
I'm going to be fucking pissed off.
They're actually quite athletic.
Yeah.
That'll be annoying.
And all that sort of shit. And in fact, Night of the Living Dead is not a documentary.
Yeah.
Then I am going to be very annoyed. Very annoyed indeed.
Or dead.
Probably dead.
Most likely
Well, no,
dead.
I've just got to outrun the next person, the person next to me. It's probably going to be Nat, and I know definitely I can outrun her.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I have had a walk through the woods with my wife, and she said, "Oh, if there's something here, we'd have to run faster." And I was like, "It's a good job there isn't bears." She went, "We couldn't run faster than the bears." I went, "I don't have to run faster than the bears. I just have to run faster than you." It's true. But
is true.
one day you might be the only guy left, and then you got no one to run faster than predators.
That's true, but never mind. Right. What are we saying now?
Oh, for overall experience, I was giving it a star.
Yes,
Yeah.
star it.
It's 5 out of 5.
5.
Is that
out.
no? Hang on. Is it 5 out of 5?
Or is it 6 out of 5?
No, because we didn't give it one for sound.
Okay, 5 out of 5.
Boom. Let's go on to listener mail, which is not listener mail. It's competition.
Yeah.
What is it? Competition entry results.
Resulters.
Winner. The picking of the winner of the competition that we ran in a segment called Listener Mail.
Yeah.
Listener mail.
Welcome to the Listener Mail section, which is really the competition winner section. I'm excited. Jimmy, you excited?
Oh, mate, on the edge of my seat.
Not too excited because we can't win it, but
Oh,
I mean,
what?
I mean, I'm not too excited.
Oh,
I can't win it. I want this stuff for myself. It's awesome.
I've put my name in the hat, though.
Have you?
Do I not win?
No. Well, if you did you pick a film?
Yeah.
Your favorite horror film ever?
Yeah, I forgot to email you, though. But I thought I'd do it in person.
Isn't your favorite film House on Haunted Hill.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Already done it.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway, so we're going to pick a competition winner now. We had quite a few entries.
Yeah.
So this hat's pretty full. And I do have an actual hat. I might get a picture of the hat and actually post it when we...
Yeah, it's pork pie, isn't it? We went for the pork pie.
We went for the pork pie.
If you listen to the last episode.
Jimmy's wearing a flat cap, but he wouldn't let me use it. He literally went to fetch his pork pie hat. Special for this. So we've already decided I'm going to rustle the names up in the hat.
Do it.
And you're going to pick. So,
Okay.
Ooh, that's a crisp sound.
That's a lovely sound, isn't it?
They're all screwed up into balls with the names on in the middle.
Tortilla chips.
Yeah. Do you want one of these? You pick one. Okay. Wait.
Right.
Imagine a drum roll, everyone, because I haven't got one.
Right, I've got it.
Okay.
It is Zoe Heslop with the film The Exorcist.
Ooh, that's a tough one to do. Love it.
Fucking
Love the
yeah,
exit.
good.
Well done, Zoe. You deserve that.
So you get, yeah, what do they get? They get a picture, mug.
You get the framed poster
Lovely.
of Night of the Living Dead,
Beautiful.
which is a nice size, by the way. I'm worried about postage cost, but I'll do it. I ordered a small one, and I got a big one, and I didn't question it because I didn't want to give it back. So you get that. You get the Blu-ray of Night of the Living Dead.
Lovely.
I believe has an extra disc with loads of extra features on it.
That'd be nice.
I haven't opened it. Still in the cellophane. I haven't checked for you. It's been tempting. And you get a nice little mug to have your morning coffee with the face of Karen, the zombie girl.
Yeah, lovely. Or you
the
can have
mug.
your cup of soup in it. Whatever
You want.
bovril, whatever you tickle, whatever
You
you
can
fancy.
keep it down looking at that face. You can put it in it.
Pop a buckfast in it if you want.
So, Zoe, I think it's Heslop, not Heslop, but you've won. Whatever your name
Hey!
is. Well done. I will email you after this episode has come out because I don't want to spoil the surprise for you. I want you to listen to the podcast and find out. It's always more fun that way, probably.
Obviously.
And now it's time for my film choice.
Oh, right.
Jimmy.
Let's do it.
So the IMDb description for this one. By the way, Zoe, your film The Exorcist is not being the next film. It will be episode 13, I believe.
That's nice. Quite apt. 13.
Yeah, I'm doing my choice, 11. Your choice, 12.
Yep.
Zoe's choice, 13.
Lovely.
And then maybe we'll get on with that House of Wax duo.
Yeah, actually, that works out. We don't want to do a heavy hitter next, do we?
Yeah, actually, the thought of doing The Exorcist next, after this hour and a half so far episode, I'm quite glad I chose what I chose, actually, for the next film. Because I think it's going to be lovely.
Right, let's do it. Lovely.
You ready for the description?
Yeah.
In 1895, British you've got your head in your hands and everything thinking about this, haven't you? You really want to win. British archaeologists find and open the tomb of Egyptian princess Ananka with nefarious consequences. You're nodding your head. You're going to kick yourself if you don't get it, Jimmy.
Is that it? Is that the description?
That's it. Do you want it again?
Yeah, please. One more time.
In 1895, British archaeologists find and open the tomb of Egyptian princess Ananka with nefarious consequences.
Fuck, I don't think I know what it is.
I think you do. Especially with Shall I tell you who's in it?
Yeah,
Give you a
tell me
clue?
who's in it.
I'm going to tell you two people who are in it.
Alright.
Peter Cushing,
Okay.
Christopher Lee.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. My mind's gone blank.
Alright, what do archaeologists find in Egypt?
Mummies. Is it the mummy?
Yes!
It was there, but I thought, no, that's too easy. It can't be the mummy.
I don't think I'm going to give you that.
Just half. Give me half point for that. Give me half point.
I'm not keeping a tally like we initially were going to keep a tally of who
Just
got
give me
what.
half for
Yeah,
that.
you have a half of that, yeah.
Fuck, I went blank.
Yeah. But, what year is this? 1959.
Oh. Two of the greatest horror actors.
Yep.
Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. I love Peter Cushing. Like, he's fucking great. Like the Frankenstein,
They are
Hammer horrors are fucking brilliant.
together. Those two are half of the best ever horror actors.
I'm saying, well, 2/3. I'm saying.
Okay, who are they?
What the two?
Price.
Price, Vincent Price, obviously. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing.
Yeah,
Three big
go with
uns.
that. Yep.
Three big uns.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
I don't think they've ever done a bad film. Well,
So you got
they've done-
2/3 of the best ever horror actors. In
exactly in this film. So that's going to be good. That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
It's nice. This film.
It's nice.
It is nice. It's
Good.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
So we have our winner. We have done Night of the Living Dead.
Yes!
Our very first George A Romero film. We're doing one every 10 films.
Yeah.
Do we want to have a quick run through of the others? Or the next one?
The next one is going to be Dawn of the Dead.
And that is brilliant.
So that'll be
So
number
I'm
20.
looking forward to that because it's got 9 episodes to get through till we get to delve into that one.
That'll be good.
And I guess we're done then.
Yes,
We've got a winner.
Let's get on the
Film
butt
done.
fast.
Now made our longest ever episode ever. And yeah, that we got a bottle of Buckfast each.
Let's do it.
Right there, ready to go. And I don't have to go home tonight because we got band practice in the morning, so I'm crashing here.
Yeah.
So, we're about to go and get pretty hammered. Hope you have a good night, or day, or morning, no matter what time you're listening to this. Hopefully, as we suggested, in your pants with booze and weed.
Yeah.
That's what we think you should be doing.
Yes, crack that can open. Roll that fatty.
Yeah. If he or she doesn't mind being rolled. So check us out on Facebook, guys, please, and like us on there because that is the best way to find out what we're doing. Or Instagram. Go at the Madhouse Podcast on Instagram and find us there. Email us at the madhousepodcast@outlook.com if you have anything to say, whether it's survival, horror tips, who the fourth best actor of horror might be. Whatever you want, check us out. But most of all, subscribe to the Madhouse Podcast and tell your friends. And we will see you next time on The Mummy. Yeah!
First African American to have a starring role in a mainstream horror film. Dwayne Jones.
I'd give it a performance out of overall. Do you know what I mean?
No.